What's going on, guys? Welcome to this weekly review here on Next Mood Swings. I went down a TikTok rabbit hole, y'all. Was down all these conspiracy theories, everything. It was wild this past week, but so much to talk about and get into, so we just gonna get into some things. Welcome back. Welcome back, y'all. This weekly review here on Next Mood Swings. If you guys keep tuning in, please hit that subscribe button, hit a little like, leave a little comment. I love when y'all comment because it helps me gear the content towards the types of conversations we need to have, yada yada yada. This week, I don't know what kind of vibe I was in or what if it was something with the moon or I don't know, but I was down a conspiracy theory. I have an idea of what set it off, but before we get into that, let's get into, you already know I got Courtney Stewart in the building. Hey, boo.
Hello, we here.
She just got back from a Labor Day weekend in Vegas. She saw, what is it called, the quarantine party?
Club Quarantine, DJ D Nice.
Hey, he got the whole performance, and I want to get out there and go see Usher, but
yes, still need to do that. There's still time.
There is still time, and we'll see. Hopefully I can get going to that, because they have some actually pretty good package deals, which I guess let's just kind of start out with this topic. I wasn't going to start out with this. I was going to go down my TikTok rant. But before we get into the TikTok stuff and the conspiracy theories and what I really think is happening with Tiffany Haddish and all that stuff. But before we get into that stuff, so speaking of Usher and like going to the concert, I know Usher right now, he has his what is it called, residency in Vegas, right? So I saw they had this package deal. It was like $700. You get a ticket. You get to go to a party before the show. You get free drinks during the show. I think it's like 3 drinks during the show. You get $100 food credit. You get a room, and some, like, I don't know if it's like a credit for the casinos there or if it's just a credit for casino, like the slot machines everywhere. But either way, it's a package deal, right? $700. I'm like, that's like, it's about 800, but like, it's not, that's pretty decent. Like, you just got to get the ticket and then you good for 2-3 days. I'm sold on that. I mean, Courtney, you saw that, right?
I saw that back. It's crazy because when he first did it, like the tickets were so expensive. And when you sent that package, I was like, this don't seem right, because those tickets were so expensive by themselves. So to like do a package deal for $800 and 2 nights, like, sounded crazy to me.
But it was on the website. I seen it. But all that to get into, there was this conversation about Chris Brown. I went to the Chris Brown show. And he's been doing these meet and greets where he's like holding the girl like it's like the gender reveal party, or people are saying look like prom photos,
like 1998 prom photos.
Okay, like homecoming.
Prom. It's like homecoming. Like, it's not prom.
Literally. But so the next thing that came out, I mean, we saw I think it was Megan Thee Stallion came out, where you could meet up with her and to twerk with her or whatever the case is. So then people started clowning because Bow Wow, it got out that he's doing the Millennium Tour, the beat, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's the Millennium Tour, and he charges $1,000 to get a backstage. You get a backstage. You get to hang out. You get to go to a party. You get free swag. You get to hang out with him. Now, there is a cheaper package for a meet and greet that you can get on Ticketmaster, but on his website, $1,000 will get you access to hang out with him longer, whatever. You already know Twitter went in and made fun of Bow Wow and was like, you are not that kind of celebrity. You are not worth $1,000. And I mean, so it just kind of like, I was like, dang, like, now we went in on Bow Wow. Like, I mean, who cares? Like, do you want to see Bow Wow that bad that you're mad that he's charging $1,000? Like, I mean, he can charge whatever he wants because I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for me per se. So then I was like, well, okay, Chris Brown, you just get to go back there and meet him and take a picture. Like, okay, he's hugging you. He should hug you. Anyways, like, I always thought the Britney Spears pictures were weird. Like, it's like you're there and she's just standing. That's not how I want to see Britney Spears. I don't want to see Britney Spears like a terrified, like, dog in a kill shelter. You know what I mean? Like, I want a good, enjoyable, like, experience. So I feel like Bow Wow is going to give you, I feel like for $1,000, if you go the Millennium Tour, you're going to have a good time. He's going to have a little party. There's going to probably be, you know, beer or wine or something. He'll probably come out, hang out, laugh with you. Whatever the case is, it's probably just going to be more than the photo. If you're paying $1,000 for these things, you know, this is nothing to you. So I looked up some other artists. Backstreet Boys charge $2,500. For $2,500, you get one ticket in the pit. You get a meet and greet. And you get a photo poster and show merch for $2,500.
A photo poster?
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's like your photo on the poster with them. That would be really awkward.
Take a picture. I mean, that'd be kind of dope if you got to like picture on a poster with them that you took.
Well, and actually, that was another thing for Bow Wow. You get a recorded video of your experience with Bow Wow. Which I was like, I've never heard of that. I don't know what is this experience gonna be like. What is the Bow Wow experience?
I mean, that's cute for social media, I guess. But yeah, I'm not trying to hate on Bow Wow. Get your money how you can, brother.
Girl, first of all, no, listen to the rest of these. Matchbox 20. First of all, most people watching this are like, who? Exactly.
They still do something?
Do they? For $3,000. For $3,000, you can go see Matchbox 20. You get a ticket in the first 6 rows. At least Backstreet Boys, it was like, I'm in the pit, I'm in the front. This is the first 6. You get a meet and greet. You get a photo of them, a gift bag, and a lithograph. Whatever, I don't know what that is, but okay. Bad Bunny charges $4,500 for a diamond package. You get front row, show merch, a trucker hat, and a special tour gift made just for the show.
You don't get to meet him, though?
But you don't get to meet him. $4,500.
Bad Bunny playing with y'all. Oh my God.
But I'd still want to go to the concert. Lady Gaga has a hospitality package for $5,750. You get to sit in the front row orchestra. You get to go to the VIP reception. You get food and drink. You get a laminate, which you get anyways, the fact that you're even promoting that. And VIP entry. And an exclusive show gift. But you don't get to meet Lady Gaga. But for almost $6,000, you get all that stuff. And then there was Elton John, which I'm like, okay, iconic.
Yes. He's a legend.
$7,000. You get a ticket to the show.
Oof.
You get to sit in the first 1 through 3, rows 1 through 3. And at the end of the show, you get to go on stage and take a picture at his piano. At the end of the show, the very end, when Elton has left, you get to go on stage and take a picture at this random piano.
So he ain't at the piano; it's just the piano.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, for $7,000,
he better be at that piano playing some keys. And
it better have been Elton John's piano. Like, yeah. What? Like, I should be purchasing the piano. I was just like, so I don't know. That took me out, but beyond. Okay, but I want to get into TikTok because I had a really interesting week with TikTok this week. We always talk about going down rabbit holes, right? And I always find myself like, especially on TikTok, like Instagram, it's like more like, I feel like I use Twitter for news and Instagram for news. TikTok is like where I go to find out things that I wouldn't even be looking for to even learn about, right?
Like random stuff.
Like the carousel of TikTok late at night, I just laugh because I'll just be scrolling and the sounds are like, It's so funny to me. It's like, hey, you never knew this. What are you going to do? Like, it's just the most random sounds, right? But so I'm scrolling down this rabbit hole and I come across, you probably heard about this story. This girl, Roxy Styles. She is an OnlyFans creator and she posts sexy scenario content. So basically, on her page, she asks women, hey, do you do this for your man? If not, I'll do it for him. She does those kind of posts.
Oh, okay.
So she posted a video. If she asking women if they told their husbands that they looked handsome today, and she said, because if not, I will. So the comments flooded her TikTok, and everyone was like calling her a home wrecker, and I guess calling her some other crazy stuff. So she started getting offended by this a few days later, like, okay, y'all calm the fuck down, like. And she started looking at the trolls pages, finding who they were married to, or if they were in a relationship, and then she would post her hitting up their man to see if he would cheat on the whoever the troll was.
Oh
I mean,
my
look, I'm not mad at her. I'm really not mad at her. I mean, look, why are you on her page? If that's what she does, don't go nowhere near that. Like, if you see a skunk, you gonna walk up to the skunk? No, because if you hit the skunk spray you, and then you what? Mad at the skunk?
It's true. That's crazy.
So I see this story. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Whatever. Blogs are picking it up. And then yesterday, I was just scrolling, looking for stories, and I come across this girl. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's XOJAS _. She's a Latina girl, and I don't know if she saw this girl doing this, but she turned it into a whole monopoly. She, for $10, you can send you cash app her $10 with a phone number and the name of the person, and she will call your man. She'll send a picture of herself to your man, act like she met him on Tinder, thinking it's somebody else. So she always play it off. And it really be funny to be seeing how many guys be like, she'll be like, oh my God, it's the wrong number. But then they'd be like, well, wait a minute though.
Hey, girl.
Girl, I was on there for like 30 minutes last night, like in the zone, dedicated, listening to this live stream.
Come on, Hustle. Why didn't I think of this?
The best part about it, she's sitting there mind you, this girl's sitting in her underwear doing this. And her man is sitting right next to her, like, babe.
Counting checks.
He sure was. I was like, come on, Bonnie and Clyde. That's what I like to see that. All right. If you guys are in the comments, leave us a comment. If you've seen any crazy TikToks and what you guys are thinking about some of these stories. So, we hopped on here because the other thing before I get into the TikTok stuff, hold on. I forgot, you guys. What I really wanted to start with tonight was, because I sent it to Courtney right before, Meg Thee Stallion and Lil Kim. Everyone, apparently I got two people talking about, I talk about Nicki Minaj every week. Sure the fuck do. Sure the fuck do. You know why I do? Because everyone else out here talking about Nicki Minaj. Like Lil Kim. Girl, here you are. I was excited to see what we were going to get, because Meg Thee Stallion is a hot artist right now. She has access to producers, studios, amazing things. So I'm thinking, oh, Kim's going to get in here. This is going to be great. Here's where I started getting skeptical. It was around 4 o'clock our time. And I went on Meg Thee Stallion's page and nothing was posted about this song. And then the only places this was posted was in Lil Kim's story. She reposted Funkmaster Flex saying that Lil Kim and Meg Thee Stallion new song was going to drop. And something yesterday was like, it's going to be a remix. I thought it was going to be the Ungrateful remix, and I thought might get a video with Kim and Meg, like, in the funeral, like maybe they're going to, put the bitches to bed, rest in peace. I thought something like that. But nope. We took it even further back. Like, what? Is this like 2 singles now ago? To Plan B, the remix? All right. I wanted to do this show because I wanted to be a place of honesty and, not where it's coming across being negative. She sounded better than I've heard her sound, tonally, I guess. Like, okay, clarity-wise. Whatever microphone she used, I liked it better this time than the past few times. I just don't think I feel like I heard a copycat of Nicki Minaj trying to trash Nicki Minaj, and then it sounded like I did hear a little bit of old Flo Kim pieces, but it felt like it was pieced together with trying to be a Nicki sound and then also trying to ride Megan's sound, personally. I mean, at first, when she was going against Nicki, it was like, really, girl? Like, we're talking about Nicki? Like, you had all this time. Like, you already came out with a whole mixtape about her. And now you're going to use this single, your comeback single, to talk about Nicki Minaj? What did you think, Courtney? Not with the Sour Patch Kid face.
I'm in pain.
I told you guys, I went with this with Brittany. I went through this with Brittany.
I wanted it. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be, and it's so funny because I literally was sitting like trying to be like, well, the Cookie and the Lucius rhyme was kind of cute. And like, but for me, her voice and tone didn't sound good. It sounded empty, like
out of breath.
It just sounded soulless and not Kim. Like she had more oomph, and there was none in that. And then it just got squeaky kind of towards the end, and then she went into her, because obviously her speaking voice is still very like baby delicate, whatever. So it's like it was a little too much of that, and I think part of why we love Kim was like the hardcoreness, no pun intended, of her voice that she could go into while rapping, and then she had this sweet little Kim voice in like regular life. And there was just, I don't know, all I know is when I'm listening to a song and I'm flowing more with Meg's flow than I am with Lil Kim, something is wrong. And there was something wrong with that.
How did you feel about the song being like, obviously, like Megan came out with this months ago, I
mean, honestly, I don't even care, because like, look, I think Meg's cool, but like, I'm not hype about Meg. Like, I can't even list, like, if a song of hers comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, but I'm not like, whatever. So for me, it didn't matter what song it was. I just needed it to be good, and it wasn't good.
Well, we'll see what the fans say about it tomorrow. But also shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. She got a BMI one for like best female hip hop writer or something like that. She won an award for her pen game. So congratulations. I mean, personally, again, I don't know if I could name a line out of Meg Thee Stallion's lyrically, like to be talking about it. I know she's dope. I do like her. Again,
I can name one. Body, okay. body.
But that's what I'm like, you won it this year for what songs this year? Like, Traumazine just came out. I don't know. But so on the flip side of that, we're like 2 minutes late because Nicki Minaj just went on live. I thought we were going to be able to come on here and talk about Lil Kim, Meg Thee Stallion, and then Nicki Minaj, a super freaky girl, the Queen mix. Now, here's my thing. Unless Beyonce is on the song, unless it's Nicki Minaj and Lil Kim, why are you calling it the Queen mix? Like, I get your Nicki Minaj Queen Radio, the Queen. I understand that. I get that. I do get that. But like, because Beyonce just came out with the Queen's mix with Madonna, it's like you want to stay in the same echelon, right? The same vibrations. And you talking about Queens. Now, again, we don't know who's on this. I'd even give you if it was all rappers from Queens and it was like the Queens remix. Like you had LL, Salt and Pepper. Like I'll even give you if you did that. I know that's not what's happening. We gonna get. I mean, let me tell you though. If I get Coi Leray on this, Nicki, there are two people. There are two people. There are two people that I'm praying are not on this. I'm like seriously, like I'm gonna have to question. Like if either of these people are on here, I'm not talking about Nicki Minaj next week. I will not bring Nicki Minaj's name up at all next week. If Akbar is on this, now if you put Cupcake on it and Akbar on there, I'll be a little less bothered. But if you put Akbar on
Akbar's entertaining.
For what? Love and hip hop? I don't give her to Cardi. I do not want Akbar and Nicki Minaj on the track. Don't do that.
Well, maybe
and don't call it the Queen mix. Shout out to Jordan. What up, bro? Jordan? Jordan, who do you think is gonna be on this Queen mix tonight that we gonna get? Apparently, I don't know if we're getting it tonight because. So here's what was happening. Nicki's complaining because something went on over at Queen Radio or maybe at iTunes. The song's supposed to drop at midnight. It's not dropping at midnight. There's something's going on because they added an extra verse. So there were 5 girls on the track. Now there's going to be 6. I do feel like the City Girls are on there, or at least JT.
Oh, that, I mean, that's fun.
My ideal thing would be JT, Lotto, I mean, I would take in Doja Cat. That would be my thing. But I don't even know about Doja with Lotto. But or like maybe Sweetie. I could do Sweetie. I don't know. I don't even know. Just B is gonna be on it, which again, like, you know, Giga. Oh no. Like, girl, I mean I get it. But like it's gonna be the same flow. She's not a queen. Bia is not a queen. That's my problem. But I'm not gonna just sit on this because I could rant about it.
Maybe she's gonna go super old school to like smash in the face that she does pay homage to all those that came before her, and it's gonna be like this random mashup of like Queen Latifah and MC Light and like Yo-Yo.
Okay, first of all, that's Dreamville. Like that would be That would be it. That would be if Missy, Queen Latifah, like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that. You got Miami. So who would she pull from Miami? I mean, I can only think of Trina. Yeah.
She could be Trina. Like, we'd be into that.
I'm so here for that.
That would be a Queen's remix right there.
Exactly. Yeah. And then fine, you don't want Lil Kim pull Foxy. I'm here for that. I would support that whole thing, but we'll see. I know it's not going to be that. I'm not even going to get I'm just expecting Benzino to pop on it in Santana. Like, it's going to be like, yeah, I do feel like Trina. If she does Lotto, that would make me very happy for Nicki Minaj. Because I feel like that's Nicki putting her guard down and being like, all right, I fuck with this bitch. Like, I would really appreciate that for her. Someone who's hoping for some appreciation. I didn't want to talk about this last week because I was like, let's just see what's coming out of it. Tiffany Haddish. Right, let's just take a sip, y'all.
Ooh, ciao.
And this is going to go back into my TikTok rabbit hole and really explain the rabbit hole, because the rabbit hole wasn't just the, like, girls with the cheating boyfriends. It turns into like conspiracy shit. All right, so Tiffany Haddish, Aries Spears are in the news. I mean, we haven't heard anything about Aries. I forgot he was even a human until he mentioned something about Lizzo looking like the shit emoji. Like first of all, the nerve, but whatever.
The nerve.
Like, bro, you have 4 tones all over your entire body. Like, what, sir? But, all right, so he makes this comment, and it goes viral, and this video pops up, and it is through the eyes of a pedophile. You can go find it. Everyone's like, don't watch the video, but then doing dissertations on it. It's like, but just go watch the video. Just go. If you're going to watch it, go watch the video so you can have your own opinion about it. Because the problem that I have with this, now, mind you, Cat Williams been warning us about Tiffany Haddish for years. If you really been listening to Cat Williams now, and obviously he his own got his own demons and whatever he deal with, but I mean, some of the things he be saying, it's like interesting. I could see that is interesting. I know a lot of great female comedians, but Tiffany Haddish jumped the line. Wonder why that is, right? But so I watched this video, and I think with media, the thing that bothers me is like we're so quick to like use words that are like very aggressive. So the words that I saw that made me want to go watch this video was that Tiffany Haddish was grooming children. Now, when we say grooming children, to me, grooming children is when you are consistently working with a person, a child, or someone who is malleable and continuously trying to groom them for your pleasure, your needs, whatever the situation is. This was a skit, and there's a lot of history behind it because apparently there's rumors that Tiffany was dating the mother of these kids at one point, and there was a lesbian relationship, and it went sour, and da 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 da. And that it's this extortion and all this stuff. I'm not even gonna do the whole story. Go look at it somewhere else. You can do all that. If you watching the show, just know you should already know all the facts when we just talking about it, because this is not TMZ. Here's my thing. I don't think it's grooming. I do not think Tiffany Haddish is a pedophile. Do I think she's weird? Yeah, now I think you're weird. Like I always had this like I like Tiffany Haddish, and then she had like these moments where it was like, I can't really connect with you for some reason. I don't know why I can't connect with you. And then this is just like, oh girl, like just throw it away. Where's the new one? Who's the new comedian? Because it just wasn't funny. And it's just like, wait, so someone wrote this script. Then after someone wrote this script, because fine, Tiffany didn't write the script. But then you read the script. And not only did you read the script, you're like, oh, I know the perfect 2 kids we could use for this. And you go and use these children. The craziest part is that Tiffany Haddish does that show, Kids Say the Darnest Things. That's, which I always thought was weird, because when you watch that show with her, I don't think she's good on it. I think she has a really weird energy with children, to be honest. Like, just that isn't funny, or like seem like, I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Apparently this mother has been trying to sue them for years, and it just, nobody's taken the case on. She hasn't been able to move forward with it. It just keeps getting swept under the rug. People are saying that's what high profile celebrities can do when these kind of things happen. They just kind of wash it under the rug. It was years ago. Like, it's not a big deal. Now there are no criminal charges, but I mean, it's just messy. It's weird. It's just, again, like, it just worries me that like this skit was spoken about before you even filmed it multiple times. Like, and you guys kept like thinking that this was cool. Like to me, in my mind, the way this should have went down was Aries shows Tiffany the script, and Tiffany's like, "Are you crazy? You gonna do what?" What's your mindset with this? Like, I mean, some people are saying, then here's where the rabbit hole went. I went down 2 rabbit holes with this. It was like, some people, they believe that it is an extortion. Then other people think that, nope, they're pedophiles or whatever. They're just weirdos. And then there's the conspiracy theorists who are like, no, this is the agenda. Pedophiles in Hollywood. They're waving it in our faces. It's like really aggressive, and there's like thousands of people that believe this stuff. Again, I don't think Tiffany Haddish is a pedophile. I don't think she, does that. Now, maybe this could be extortion in another way. I don't know. Where did you go with this story?
First off, let me say I'm exhausted dealing and thinking about it at all, because up front, first off the bat, the video is horrible. It is not funny. It's not cute. It's not even like, even though I sort of can get what you were trying to do, the execution of it, once you saw it, like, I don't know how neither of them, Aries or Tiffany, didn't say, you know what? This isn't reading the way we want it. Let's not put this up. And there's rumors that, you know, Tiffany had been told him and asked him not to put it up, supposedly, and he did it anyway because it was his, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It was a horrible skit. It should have never been done. It should have never been filmed. It should not have been put up, period. But that, on top of that, all this other like stuff, because I thought the grooming, I thought they were trying to say not that it was done during the video per se, but that this was something that Tiffany had been doing with these kids, and they then were also in the video, but it continued, and that's where that came from. Not necessarily just the video itself was the atrocity. So I don't know all the details. There's all kind of back and forth about what really happened, and then the cases have been dropped by lawyers multiple times, and it's a headache. And look, I don't wish no ill will on no Black woman getting her checks and doing her money and doing the thing, but this does make me look at her sideways. And it's so exhausting because there's so much negativity and horrible shit happening. Like, I don't even want to have to try to figure it out. You were in the video alone, and that's enough for me to look at you sideways, and it makes me not want to deal with you at all.
Right. Yeah, like, it's not cancel culture. It's more like, girl, like, what? Like,
there's just too much. And there was nothing in I think it was 2014 or something they did it, 2013, I don't remember.
Yeah, 2013.
It was like barely 10 years ago. And it's not like I give pass for cultural shifts in society.
Right, because I did think that too. Like, comedy back then, you know, we used to, you know, say faggot or certain words like back then were acceptable. And but not even 2013, I feel like it started shifting.
It was, and for me, that's why I looked at the time, 2013, there was nothing that was cute, funny, or okay about a little boy's butt in underwear on the floor spinning around with a man that's a pedophile, like dreaming about him singing R. Kelly.
Well, like, that's what they're like, it was a PSA. I'm like, it was not. There was no like, you know, in a PSA, like, sure, you show something bad, but then at the end there's like a whole like, ta-da, and this is how to avoid that. Like, or
I mean, that's why that's why I try to like give the benefit of the doubt. Like, the energy behind it is, don't leave your kids around just anybody. Like, I think that was their whole point, but that's not what was communicated completely in that script, in that skit. It was just tasteless. And but that being said, their mother had to sign a release to allow the video to be placed anywhere, put up anywhere, whatever. So at some point, this kid's mom thought this was okay. I have a much bigger problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a problem with all of it. The other part that I have a problem with is like, okay, look, it happened. Right? It feels like, you know, everyone was at a house party and then shit broke, and now nobody wants to be held accountable for it. I get you guys are in litigations or whatever, but what kind of bothers me about this is like, Aries came out in a video and Tiffany's quote, they're putting the focus on that this is an extortion. And the thing is nobody cares what it is. Nobody cares that I don't care that you're being sued for this. That's not why.
That you did it. I care that you did
it. That's the thing. We aren't like, oh my God, sue them. Oh, I mean, I'm not like, arrest them. I don't care legally what's going on with you. What I care about is that you did it, and it's there, and it's something that you didn't. As soon as now it's like out in the public, be like, y'all, I was so horrified at that, like, or whatever. And I get it. It's like the Erica Jane stuff with Beverly Hills. Like, maybe they just can't really talk about certain things or express their true viewpoint in a certain way. I don't know, but the whole thing's a mess. And also, speaking of a mess, I got into this Armie Hammer documentary, you guys. First of all, I didn't even know who this man was. didn't even know, but I saw the preview. Discovery Plus. Look, y'all can do this. You can go sign up for Discovery, get the 7-day free trial, watch this documentary. I finished it in 1 day, and you just cancel that subscription right after. I think if you have Verizon, you get like 6 months free. So there you have that. But this documentary is crazy. It really, again, going down the TikTok rabbit hole. I was reading conspiracy theories, people who, they were talking about how the music we listen to it controls us, and that marketing companies and all these, prison systems, they work with the music labels, and which is interesting because if you actually do your research, and you'll see that like private prisons are owned by or have invest in certain record labels, which is really weird. But you can get down even further in that with like Bone Thugs, and there's interviews and stuff where they talk about how there are certain record labels that do work with an agenda to try to portray a certain image or to try and keep certain masses following their lead. I'll just put it like that. But you can look that up, Bone Thugs and Harmony on YouTube. It exposes the music industry. But this was interesting because it's like this has been rumored for years and years about Armie Hammer. So this is this really famous family. They have nothing to do with Arm & Hammer, the baking soda or whatever it is. That's what I thought this was. I thought this was like, oh my God, what? What's the tea with Arm & Hammer? This is a person. His name is Armie Hammer. It is a like 6-something white man. He was in The Social Network, and not my type, but very well put together. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show HBO Succession, but that show is about this family. It is like Succession is a watered down version of this family's real life. So basically, the overall documentary talks about 3 or 4 generations of men in this family who basically have a lot of power within the industry. They're having dinners with the Princess Diana, Charles, the president, meeting with the highest people in the world, killing people, literally getting away with murder because they have money, using the media to block negative press, which is also crazy because if you really try to Google up Armie Hammer stuff, dirt, it's very hard to find. And even images, bad images or memes and stuff like that, they wash Google clear of it. I mean, you can find some stuff, but I was pretty shocked. And the fan base this man has, but basically his ex-girlfriend came out to basically say she was in this relationship with him. She didn't know what BDSM was. He was telling her that he's into that. He has money, power. She was like, okay, you can spank me or whatever. And it led down to some crazy violent stuff. He tied this woman in a tree outside and let people do whatever they wanted to her body, and would had this whole wife who he made her change her whole identity to live how he wanted her. Just crazy stuff. They had the father had this cult, which is just crazy because I had a boss whose dad did the same thing. It was a cult, and had 14, 15-year-old girls sponge bathing them. And they're sucking the blood out of these people, just crazy things. And then it gets even darker and talking about Satanism and doing certain worshiping things to gain power. And what kind of gave this validity was just interesting to see how TikTok exposed this whole story, to find out that there was a sister who had written a whole book about how dark this family was. She was outcasted. Her name was Casey. She was outcasted from the family. And she wrote a whole book about the abuse, the drugs, the ability to get away with power. And it just really puts a lot in perspective as far as how this world works. One quote that she said was, I asked my dad why he didn't want to be the president. She was like, because we were around so many celebrities, the presidents would come in, the generals would come in, the king, the queen, just people like you wouldn't even believe that these people were here. And she said, why wouldn't you want to be the president? He said to her, there isn't enough power there. So it just kind of made me think, like, we don't even really know what be going on in this world. Like, whatever we really think it is, it probably is not that. And there are just a lot of conspiracy theories that you can go down this documentary with, in learning about that whole Illuminati, the sacrificing, the using children. Like, it's just crazy that, like, if all of that was made up, and the fact that people follow that stuff, that's scary in its own right. But, like, when there's so much smoke, like, is there a little bit of fire? You know what I mean? Because this is something we've been hearing for, like, I mean, I remember in MySpace days Googling this kind of stuff, like, about the music industry and all that. And it's like, and more stuff comes out, keeps getting exposed. I don't know. But I definitely recommend this, the Armie Hammer doc. You know, they're trying to, so, because Courtney, you haven't seen it yet, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I've, been hearing about it forever. But, like, for me, it's very, I don't want to say I don't care, because if people are being harmed, I do care, and I hope that they got help and all those things. But this is very, like, I think his great-grandfather or somebody was, like, an oil tycoon or something. Like, they have, like, old school deep pockets in America. So, like, when everybody's talking about, like, oh, these crazy things that he would do, it feels very much like, the American story of rich white people, especially rich white men taking and doing whatever the hell they want and not caring who they hurt. So I guess that's why my interest is like, I don't
it really
that in my life.
To, like, power. Like, there was one scene, there was one, story she was describing how it was one of his ex-wives, and he would, not Army, this is his dad, and he would take her out on dates. And one time he took her out to a gay club, and she was like, okay, I want to go home. Like, what are we doing here? And he kept giving the guys attention. He wasn't kissing anyone or anything like that, but he was giving all the men attention in this gay club and not giving her, just because it's just like, that's such a, like, narcissistic power move. Like, I'm gonna take her around all these men. It was just so gross. But there are so many people, like, this is so real. Like, I've dated somebody, like, not to that extent, I mean, very close, I mean, right there, like, didn't pass the threshold of, like, murder that I know of. But yeah, so going down the TikTok agenda list, right, we get to this next conversation, which I want to eventually build this into a deeper conversation. The gay agenda, but we'll just quickly kind of talk about it. But I want to pull in some other people for this conversation and have a little round table, because this is so, I mean, you want to get my blood boiling, like, please bring up, the gay agenda. I, like, see, when people start saying stuff like this, like, the media is using, the marketing people are using the media to, make everyone homosexuals, and this is what Satan wanted, and he wanted to really get into everybody's brains and turn everyone into just, men loving homosexuals. Like, stop it. So Bad Bunny at the VMAs, this is, again, old news, didn't want to even talk about this, because it literally, I didn't even see it happen. I watched the performance. I didn't even notice it happen until I went on a blog and someone was like, Bad Bunny kissed a boy. And I was like, really? Like, it wasn't a Britney and Madonna moment. It was not that. That was a very highlighted situation. This was so fast and like, like, no one cared other than conspiracy TikTok. So again, didn't want to mention it, got down this list, and I went back and forth between someone on a fucking TikTok because they're talking about the gay agenda, and I'm just like, why when straight people who do not like gay people, Why is it when you see something gay on TV, why do you instantly go to the negative of that there's an agenda? Right? Why, when you see Bad Bunny kiss a boy on stage, like, instead of saying that's the devil, right? How about we say, okay, what's the message here? Is there a message, right? You know, did Bad Boy kiss this boy because he knows that by some little child sitting at home watching the VMAs, because why do you have your children sitting in front of the television watching the VMAs? One, so this young, malleable, I mean, what age are we concerned about? 7? Let's say 7. This malleable 7-year-old sitting at home and watches this performance where Bad Bunny's rapping about how his aunt continues to ask him why he keeps sleeping with all these girls. This boy's going to see Bad Bunny kiss this man and then become gay. That's the agenda. You think like, oh, we've normalized it now. Why can't we look at like the moral of it? What if Bad Bunny is a bisexual person or a pansexual or just, you know, maybe, I know he has a longtime girlfriend, but what if Bad Bunny grew up and had those feelings? You know, the song, like, again, the song continuously talks about having your aunts constantly ask you about your girlfriends. That's very relatable to me as a gay man. My whole life, that is the question at every family thing. That, you know, when I was in the closet, it was like, oh, who's your girlfriend? Who's this? It's like I don't want to go because I don't have to deal with these questions. So maybe him doing that is, if I, you know, at 7 years old, knew I knew what I liked. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I knew what I liked, and I wasn't out here watching no gay shit. I wasn't out here watching no gay shit at all. I didn't see no gay shit till the first gay thing I think I ever really saw was Willow on Buffy the Vampire Slayer turning into a lesbian, and that was like, oh my god. I mean, like, realistically, I never watched Will and Grace. I knew he existed, but like, yeah, I really think that was the first gay character for me in my life, but I knew what I was. So I just go down this whole thing of like, why do we have to turn it into this? Why does it have to be so negative? And the reason is, I get it. You feel that way because of religion, right? So you feel like, now, like Lil Nas getting fucked by the devil, like that, okay, yes. Like, do I call that an agenda? No, I say that's weird and like stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, you said what?
I'm like, it's so, all of these topics this week are like, give me a headache. But it's, I understand, because I'm always trying to, you know, put myself in the other shoes of the opinion that I do not have. I can understand, because I do agree that just in general, our media and entertainment is hyper sexualized, and it continues to get more sexualized. So, and I think that's in a gay direction, in a straight direction, in the in-between, in all the directions. I feel like we are like insanely like sexualized everywhere. And at different, because, you know, back in the day, like, you know, the sexy stuff didn't come on until after 10 o'clock.
Right.
Now you can see a show at, you know, 6 o'clock in the evening and people are making out and getting naked and like whatever. So anyway, that being said, I just don't understand how people don't just see it as human agenda. Like all of the stuff that we are fighting with and dealing with and struggling with and working through and whatever, that's what's being displayed on media. Like the tension of, like in Bad Bunny's case, like for all we know, how many like guys do you know that maybe were closeted to some level? Not necessarily that they're all gay, but they might be bisexual or whatever. But that other desire was quenched by running through women. Ooh. And because they're not emotionally available to have actual relationships because they are in their own confusion and dealing with stuff. But we are, touting them as like Superman and great men, and they're sowing their seed and doing what men do and all of that, when reality they're just broken and not available to actually have an emotional relationship with somebody because they aren't able to actually be honest about what and who they want. So for all we know, that was the conversation that he was having about his moment on stage. Or maybe he was on stage and the guy looked hot and they had just done a bomb ass performance and they just wanted to kiss each other because it felt good. And that's it. And it was no other thing other than a human connection that happened on stage for a second. So I don't know. All I know is it's exhausting. And this whole like making it like we are outside of what's happening in media, to me, is bullshit. And it is an easy way for all of us to not take responsibility for what's happening in media, because in the end, none of this shit would be happening if it didn't sell, because the bottom line of media is that it's pushing product. So if you stop buying the product, you stop subscribing to the streaming services, you stop watching these videos, you stop watching this thing, all of that shit will change. The content will adjust itself to meet the needs of the people. So all these people, conservatives running around talking about, oh, the media is doing this to us and da, 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 da. The media is led by what we are buying, period, always.
And if you're that religious, why are you watching this? Why? Like, my grandmother is very religious. I go downstairs, first thing in the morning, my grandmother got YouTube. She's live streaming the church somewhere. She reading something. She's not keeping up with the Kardashians. She might read. She'll read it in the magazines or something like that, but she's not watching this stuff continuously. Again, like, I love watching horror movies, crime stuff. I'm not out here committing crimes because I watched that. Exactly. Again, the Lil Nas X thing, that doesn't make me want to go worship Satan.
Worship the devil.
But maybe let's go down. Let's play with the conspiracy theories, right? Maybe let's play with the religious conspiracy theory, right? I guess it's not a conspiracy theory. It's you believe in God and Jesus and the Bible the way that the church tells you to, right? Maybe all of this stuff, maybe it's all to test whether you will judge or not. Maybe that's the actual test. Maybe Lil Nas walking around in high heels with tits and a dick, maybe that is your test. Are you going to judge it? Are you going to judge him? Are you going to judge her because that's how they feel? Maybe that's the test. But you over here judging in the name of Jesus. You judging for Jesus. Like, it blows my mind because it's so hypocritical on so many levels that it just, again, and like you said, these topics, this is what I go through. This is why we're a crazy world, because this is the content we are consuming every day. It's just scrolling right there on TikTok. You can't get away from it. It's from the left to the right to everywhere. The next one, this all goes down to the thing. I went down even further. You get to find this conspiracy theories about the flat earth and that we live in a dome. The one that we live in a dome, girl, that took me out. I was like, these people.
That was a TV show. We were in the dome on that TV show. I like that TV show. What was it called?
Girl, well, people are maybe watching these. Maybe they're reading the script from the first episode and thinking that this was like a real book written, because these people have drawings of aliens. Like drawings of like these like werewolf looking creatures, and they fight the reptilians, but the reptilians are in like Hillary Clinton. Like, it's just a lot. And my thing is like, and then these people be bashing religion. And that blows my mind, because you can sit here and say you don't believe in, you think it's so crazy that people believe in God, this entity. But then you're over here believing reptiles and werewolves are ripping open human skin and like can easily wear it. Like, I know Beyonce was like, I can wear her lips confetti. Like, I get it, but like, no, what? Like, it concerns me. It really concerns me. Like, these people, there are people like this in this world. And because again, if there are reptilians and werewolf people out there, I do want to know. I wanna be aware. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But like, I need facts. I don't want like, I read this book from 1832 from Jefferson. Who is that? Like, where, like, do we have a picture of this monster? Do we have like a toenail? Something
Same
like,
way we got a picture of Bigfoot, honey. Like, it is what it is. Like, everybody, like, I think we need to go back. I mean, obviously crazy been around since the dawn of time, or the dawn of man, I guess. And so crazy will continue. It just now has an easier platform to reach more people. So, if the reptile people are walking around, we'll meet them one day when it's meant to happen, because clearly, like, we're all connected much stronger than we've ever been before, just because it's easier to get to each other now. So in the meantime, I'm gonna just pray and Lord, take me if the people really get out of control, like, because I just can't. Like, I'm tired just in this, like, foraging of the concepts of the crap that we find and hear and see and all of that. Like, but like when people really start like nutting up in the streets and like, I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be. I can't be fighting.
But I feel like, Courtney, we're gonna be so old when that happens. Because honestly, here's my conspiracy of what's gonna happen. So filters, right? Like, we like are obsessed with like feeling like we don't have skin texture because we're so used to looking at like media pictures of filtered skin, and we're so used to seeing our face, right, and filtered. My nephew plays Roblox. And in Roblox, it's a world. It's the meta world, right? You can be anything you want. You want to be blue with gold wings and a freaking leotard with a pink hat holding a butterfly with an ice cream cone in your hand. Get it, girl. You can do that. And I feel like the way media is pushing us to live inside these bubbles, right? I feel like we're really moving into the day and age where like we really like are. What was it? Was January 6th? Like how those people was looking up in that house? Like people gonna be out here looking like all the costumes, like with wings and living their best Comic-Con life.
Maybe that's all right. I was like, that's literally the liberation of humanity. As much as like the metaverse is like kind of, I think, psychotic, but it is finally the space where like if you want to be wearing pink panties and wings and flying around with a mohawk, nobody can really say shit about it because everybody else is doing like all the same crazy random fun whatever things. So maybe the metaverse is actually here to free us all of the nonsense that we put on each other in this natural world because we think that we're supposed to be at some sort of standard all the time and live up to this, that, or be this, that, and the other, and expectation and all of that. So I'm going to be a unicorn. I'm going to be a unicorn with a boat. And when I want to fly the fuck away from people, I can just fly the fuck away from people. But mostly I'm going to just be a unicorn on my boat. Hopefully with a lot of good champagne. Because as a unicorn, I like champagne.
Okay.
And that's how I'm going to live my meta life. That's my meta life experience.
All right. What would your username be?
Oh, God. That's hard. Think about that.
I would come back with one of my old AOL, JJ Cool Whip. That was my old one of my old AIM.
I literally still like all of my like social media handles are my old
Stuart Starling.
That's why I have it still, because my name is always taken because it's so common. So I've literally had my instant messenger name forever because of that.
I can't. So going again through the whole conspiracy stuff, right, with God, religion, then it got to the conspiracy of back into the world of Britney Spears. And we talked about last week with Kevin Federline. He was going to do that whole interview. Well, 60 Minutes Australia was going to release the interview. Well, they released it. I watched it. Kevin Federline's is a mess.
He looks terrible.
Here's the thing.
Honey, you've been living off of all that money and you look like that?
Here's the thing. Do I believe that, like, when Kevin met Britney, he was like out to get her money. Like, no, I think he was just a young kid. She was young. I mean, it's like Britney Spears. Like, yeah, of course I'm gonna say yes. Like, who the fuck wouldn't? At the time, she,
yeah.
right? So yeah, you know, you don't know what you're getting involved with. Again, when it comes to this level of celebrity, which also I just want to point out, Kathy Hilton, Britney Spears, and Michael Jackson, because I just watched that Michael Jackson documentary, Who Killed Michael Jackson. They all had the same house aesthetic, and it's just like, I don't know what that is. I feel like it was they were all traumatized at like 1998, and that's just what they remember the houses to look like. And so like it's always like this like dark red cherry wood. Like, I don't know, it just like the houses just give me all the same vibes. It's just like, what year was this built? And like you didn't want to renovate at all? Like, but so Britney basically came out, you know, because of the interview, and then her son Jaden basically said that Jamie Spears, Britney's father, was trying to save her life, and he's not a bad person, and threw Britney for a loop. She wrote a very thing on Instagram, which I believe got deleted, which I'm glad, because I didn't love the tone she was talking to him. It sounded like, girl, like that's how you talk to an adult, like this is your child. Yeah. And then she recanted it and put this voice thing up where she basically said that she loves her child, but, you know, the fact he can't understand, hopefully one day he'll understand what she's been through in life. But because all this has happened to her in her life, and this is crazy because Britney has really been one of the only celebrities to constantly talk about God. Yes. Like, when it comes to celebrities, like, everyone will thank them at the award shows. But, like, she constantly talked about him in interviews. Like, you just knew she was religious. She came out to say she's atheist because she believes that there's no way, if there was a God, that all this stuff would be happening to her right now. That's sad to me because, to me, that just means she has lost all faith and hope.
Yeah.
And to see somebody go through that, I mean, you look at like 60 Minutes, and I mean, it's just like, you know, the media, it's heartless because it's like, they don't give a fuck. They just were like, yeah, this is going to get us checks. Yeah. We don't care if this tears her apart and she wants to fucking commit suicide on Monday, bitch. Then we'll talk about that on Tuesday. Like,
for a check. It's all for checks.
You know, and it's just sad that kids are involved. I mean, the whole Kevin like losing. I mean, he makes $40,000 a month and been making $40,000 a month. I mean, I know people who just make that a year.
100%. Yes. He's making a substantial amount of money to take care of those boys. And don't get it twisted. I give solace to the fact there is extra effort that goes into celebrity kids, whether it's like dealing with their safety and hiring, you know, people to make sure that, like, if they are at school, do they have an escort after school? Like, I don't know what extra stuff he had to use to accommodate, you know, right, what was happening with the kids. So I'm not even tripping off the amount in the end, because I understand that child support is literally a percentage of income to make both households as even as possible. Because if it was a woman, I would want her to get her $40,000 a month for the 2 kids or whatever. I know we just have a hard time as a society watching a man sit on his ass, not do nothing. And
I'm fine with it. Like, that's my thing. Like, I think people like the fact Britney keeps using that. I get her emotional attachment to it of why that bothers her. But for everyone else, remove yourself from the fact that she's Britney Spears. Like, because if the table were flipped, what are you gonna say? You know, Kevin's worked all his life, you know, at Home Depot, and his wife's not doing anything. Like, it's just like, you wouldn't do that if this tables were flipped. You're doing it because it was a man.
It was a man. But, I mean, though I wish for Kevin, I don't know. He didn't talk. Look, I didn't want him to talk at all. Like, I think he should have stayed quiet until the children
and that's the point. He didn't say anything. It was like, you did this for what? Tell us.
That's my point.
How did she get to the point where she was locked in the bathroom? Because you know what happened. And you know what's really crazy? The craziest part, and this is why, again, conspiracy theories, and this one's fun. Go on Britney's page. She keeps posting the Hold Me Closer snippet, right? But she's using this fan art. It's not even the real art. It's like a photoshopped head on top of this like Elton John like Rocket Man it's crazy. It looks crazy, but she keeps posting it and she keeps tagging the person who made it. And I realized it. I kept seeing the picture. I'm like, why the fuck does she keep posting this picture? This isn't even the picture. And then I was on TikTok and someone was like, there's a reason Britney keeps posting this. You probably keep seeing this and wondering like, why the fuck she keep posting it? If you go and click on that on that person's thing, they're posting all the stuff that the media is not talking about. They're posting they're posting pictures of Kevin sitting at the table with the boys and they're drinking beer. They're posting pictures of Kevin sitting around his friends rolling up a joint. They're posting things like back in the day, like now it's funny, Kevin's talking about, oh, you know, I have no beef with the family. You're the reason Britney doesn't have control of her kids because you said her dad hit her son. We aren't talking about that. I forgot about that one. I found that on that page. I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, no, because they started shifting their weight of time before that incident with the grandfather happened. Because the incident with the grandfather happened in the last, 2 years, 3 years? And they switched custody arrangements when the kids were like 11 and 12.
No, that's the original reason why Kevin got full custody was because of that situation with Jamie. And then years later, we heard Jaden talk. Remember Jaden did that live and he was like, my grandpa is a fucking asshole. Fuck him. I hope he dies. And now it's like, oh, Jamie, my grandfather was saving your life. Like, it's all weird. It's all weird. It's just weird to me. Shout out to Cameron Marston in the comments, bro.
Hi, Cam.
You know.
Yeah, we are still talking about freaking Britney Spears 100 years later. I just want her to go away to an island and get better because she's not well. I want Kevin Federline to shut up, go to the gym, hang out, like finish raising the boys, like let them live their lives. The boys are permitted to talk. I feel like once they turn 18, if they want to share their story and their version, right, like that's up to them. But like, shut the fuck up, Kevin, and like go back to your little house with your girl and your 6 kids. Because I forgot he had 2 with the first girl, he got 2 with Britney, and then he got 2 with the new. I was just like, this is just too much. Go home and shut up. Why?
You have 3 baby mothers, bro.
Like, just go hide. Go hide. Live your life. Keep raising the kids. We liked you better when we thought you were doing right by the kids by not saying stuff in the press. Just
like, go talk to Nick Cannon. Get some advice from Nick Cannon. Maybe
don't get no advice from Nick Cannon. Don't nobody need to talk to Nick Cannon. Don't know Nick Cannon don't need to talk to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon need to talk to Jesus. We need to leave that all the way alone.
Well, he don't believe in Jesus, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Wait, the funniest thing about the 60-minute interview with Kevin Federline, I died. I don't know what, because I was like, let me go read these comments. Not they had the comments shut up.
I just wasn't, I was expecting him to like put on a whole shirt and like be in an interview situation.
First of all, he had a whole shirt on. Why didn't you tuck it in? Like, first of all, you went to Marshall's before the woman came and was like, I need a shirt. And then
he was like, I normally, then you put it on over your nasty t-shirt that you just be wearing around the house and sweating in, drinking your beers. You need a haircut. Like, he just looked a mess. And I was just like, I know that like the money was child support and, you know, you got to take care of the kids. But brother, like, I don't think we would be mad if you spent, you know, $40 to go get a haircut, maybe get your beard trimmed up. You know what I'm saying? Help yourself out. He looked like a tired sleep. Like, he got infants. He looked like
here's the thing. But here's where I low-key had empathy for him because he looked like that in this interview. I was like, oh, he probably depressed too. I can imagine what he's been through. Because, I mean, think about it. I mean, I've been shitting on Justin Timberlake all these years because of Cry Me a River. So imagine what people are doing to Kevin Federline all these years later. So I do have some form of sympathy for him.
But I mean, he do look wore out. He do look wore out.
Like, he done wove the white flag 3 years ago. Like,
Child 3, he looked like he wove that flag like 10 years ago. He is
I mean, he
struggling.
probably can't wait till them boys is 18. Like, get the fuck out. Like, love you guys, but
I
well, all
don't know.
right. Moving on from that, I'm just gonna say this real quick because I want to get into reality. Kanye West versus Adidas.
No,
Uh,
we ain't talking about that.
Look, here's the only thing I'm gonna say about it though. Kanye, stop talking about like racism and what these high profile companies and they stealing from da 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 da. These are people you wanted to work with. These are people you were working with. These were people you were signing deals with. You were okay with it when you were fucking Kim. You were fine with everything. Now you're not. Now you don't have that pussy. So now you're what? Like just you coming across right now like the kid who's just knocking the stuff off the table because he didn't get, a second piece of cake for dessert. Like just drop it, bro. Drop all of it. Like you exposing all these people. Like I'm waiting for the lawsuit to happen. Like you get a little bit of money in your pocket and now you just going crazy, like shooting bullets at people, posting Kim got diarrhea, then saying you didn't really post that, and just like wild stuff, But interesting, he did mention the Clintons about Kim Kardashian. But again, you're exposing yourself, bro, because you were in this circle. You were a part of this circle. And that circle said, sorry, and now because they said sorry you're mad. So I want to feel for you. I do think that there is truth in certain things that he does say, but it's like, bro, I need you, like Britney, to get somebody in your life who can help reel you the fuck in and get your thoughts together. Like maybe don't post for a month and write your thoughts down and just cross out the ones that just don't, just keep reading it over and over again until you just
Honey, just go in the studio, write some songs, even if we never hear them, because clearly that is your best creative expression. Just like go on and do some music when you feeling stressed out and people upsetting you. But don't come at us talking about boycott this, do that, whatever. When you quite clearly, the same way you said that, black people could have they chose to be enslaved, to stay in slavery. Honey, you chose to sign a damn contract with Adidas and Aunties and The Gap and whoever the hell else you did. I have zero sympathy for you,
and
sir.
charge the prices that you charge
And
for your clothing.
and you know what? I am no Nicki stan the way that you are, but I felt a ways when Nicki did her interview with Joe Budden. And she was talking about how like doing products and stuff like that, how she only did like a few like collabs with like, I think she did something with Fendi or whatever.
Yeah.
And how she never really like blew up in that space, and she really wanted, back before I guess Kanye started doing Yeezys or whatever, she wanted to try to do something with him, but he decided that he had to give it to his wife, like, because it's his wife, like he made that choice, and she was like, I don't hold nothing against him for that, like that was his wife. But when I heard that, I was like, you know what, boo Kanye, because you and Nicki could have done something on your own and didn't even have to set up anything deal wise with Adidas or anywhere else if you want to. And it would have
Exactly.
sold.
Yep.
And you could have built something amazing. And of all the things I say about or don't feel about Nicki, I do feel that like she has not been able to build an empire in the way that I think she should have deserved based on what she has contributed culturally and to music and all of that. Like, and it makes me sad as a black woman that literally her coin still got to come from getting on that stage at 40
And
years old with her baby and twerking.
And remember when she had that thing with Kmart? And that's the one thing I do pay attention when celebrities come out with products that are affordable.
Yeah.
Like you see, like one thing, you look at Paris Hilton, she's this billionaire, right? But her products are aimed towards middle America. Like, I mean, her perfume, it does not last long at all, but it smells cute for what it is. It's like something you get like a 14 or 15-year-old, I don't know. But it smells cute enough, but it's a reasonably priced thing. And I just feel like when it comes to that big of celebrity, I did appreciate Nicki, her target point was that price range. I look at Kanye, I'm like, you really gonna have these kids saving up all their money to go buy these foam ass things and that are ugly, first of all, like I just can't. And then two, now you're mad because everyone's making copies of them. Like,
it's foam.
it's foam.
Well, I will make one caveat with that though. I do respect on a certain level the idea of a Black artist moving into and attempting to capitalize on luxury goods.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I
Because
wish
the
Nicki
bottom
would do
line
it
is
too.
but that's my thing. So I wish if they had like collab together and maybe they did take over Fendi and do their own thing or whatever. Like it just would have been nice
Okay, so
to.
convince me this, because that's actually interesting that you say that. Beyonce with Tiffany's. So, like, okay, is that why she does Tiffany's? Because I don't, it's just like I hate every commercial I see from it. Like, but now you just said that put that in my head. I'm like, okay, you're aligning like Tiffany's we know as diamonds, rich, luxury. So then you put Beyonce with that. Like, is
I mean, I can't speak for what her thought process would be, obviously,
well,
but
no, but yours towards
I
doing
have
it.
my issues with why she did because I had like the first ad that they did for Tiffany's along with the
Best
I think
squat.
it was the Basquiat painting in
Basquiat.
it, and Basquiat I don't think would align with the space that they were occupying for that. So it felt wrong to me. But I do still on the flip side of that coin understand at the same time it's like everybody's like, oh, she's the only Black woman to ever wear this, and like some people are like, why should we celebrate this? I'm like, y'all know that shit was stolen from Africa, so hell yeah, the Black woman should get to wear it. You know what I'm saying? Like not that she represents Africa, but like the concept that this luxury is not afforded to Black people is disgusting. And I think you can make an argument for why aligning those two things matters and is
Right.
important and value. Do I always agree with that argument? Not necessarily, because part of me thinks you burn Tiffany's down and you do your own thing. But I also understand from a cultural capitalistic society that we live in that maybe that's not really ever going to happen. So if nothing else, we can shift something, because Tiffany's is actually, I think, one of the big companies that benefited strongly from slavery as well, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but I think there was a portion of them that existed, whatever. Let me shut up because I don't have all my facts in front of me. But regardless, there is value in it that I can see and make an argument for, but I can also be like, that's some bullshit. But in the end, Black people deserve luxury too, damn it. So I get it, Kanye, but it's very upsetting that you missed an opportunity with your sister Nicki to do big things.
Period.
Because you wanted to hold up Kim, who I get it, she was his wife, but she didn't need your help.
No.
She didn't need it.
She doing fine by herself. And her jockstrap booty and no eyebrows.
Looking like Jeffree Star. I was like, what is happening?
Girl, she looked like a 1980s porn, like a gay porn. Like, I'm like, what?
Not good. But she,
is Interview magazine or Urban magazine, or is it like a gay magazine? I've never.
Interview, isn't it just like a pop culture magazine, right? Because that's where like all the like weird pop.
No, isn't that Paper magazine?
I thought that was both of them.
Probably, I don't know. All right, reality TV stuff. Let's blow through this. Okay, so Dancing with the Stars was just announced. It's gonna be on Disney Plus. Girl, it's gonna be on Disney Plus now. I'm like, y'all should have just hung it up the moment you thought you was gonna put it over to Disney Plus. Although I heard Disney Plus is about to release something like Disney One or something like that. So it's like a Disney Plus service, but then it also includes like extra freebies, like discounts to Disney World. I don't know.
Ain't no such thing as a freebie. You paying for all that shit.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's like you paying. It's like, oh my god, I get 25% off at Disney World because of my membership. It's like, and bitch, you
not
pay
knowing that they just raised the prices of Disney World and Disneyland, like basically 25%. So you're not actually getting a discount. It's all a fucking marketing scheme. It's not fair.
It's a mess.
Anyway, sorry. But yeah.
No, but so yeah, Disney, they're going to do it. Teresa's going to be on there, which I thought she already did Dancing with the Stars, but I guess not.
Who cares? And how lame of her to be on it when it's on Disney Plus. Like nobody's watching it. It's not even prime time anymore. I'm moving on.
But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. It's going to there. But I did see the reality show I am here for. It's a new one coming out. It is called Special Force Ultimate Test. Have you heard about this? Oh,
No.
you're gonna die. So it's based off a London or a British reality show, and it has a bunch more people, but these were like the people on my that was like, oh, sold. Kenyamoore, Montel Jordan, which I just put that because I knew who he was.
That is so random.
So random. Mel B.
Okay,
I
I like
like her
her.
on any reality show, and Jaimelynnspears.
Oh, child.
I'm here for this. So like apparently I don't know what they got to do. It's like not naked or afraid. It's like something like it's kind of like Survivor but not Survivor. It's not that
Okay.
intense. But whatever. I'm interested cuz I just feel like it'll be interesting to see someone like a Kenya with a Jamie Ling Spears cuz Kenya's not going to keep her mouth shut. She's going to ask the questions, and then to put Jamie in a situation right now where because if you put Jamie on Big Brother and she has 24 hours, however many days a week to be talking to people, I'm here for it.
Something's coming out. I want to hear.
I'm a
I'd listen.
watch. And shout out to them for picking her to do that because that's interesting. This will come out in January 2023 on Fox. Real Housewives of Potomac dropped their trailer. Here for it. I'm interested to see where we're going with the girls. Miss Karen Huger. Oh, here y'all. She got
More rumors of affairs. Hunty. We got what's her name? Her
Ashley.
Ashley divorcing, but not because they're moving in together or something. Like who knows? But Candace and her man is having.
Yep. And Giselle and what's her name going just Robin just gonna be messy like they always are.
Messy like they always are, and I live for it. And that new one, Mia. Oh, but then Charisse is back from the first season.
Yes, that's actually what I'm interested in because I hear that she has a thing for going after the Grand Dame this season. She has
Yes,
a bone to pick.
yes.
So we'll see. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Basically, the only thing I cared about was the She by Sheree show we got. We got to see Dwight.
Good.
He did look good, actually. I'll give him that. So we got to see the whole episode was her scared she wasn't going to get these pieces. We didn't really see who she was dealing with. There was no conversations about getting these pieces. It just was like a phone call, like last minute. All of my 27 pieces came okay.
Showed up the day before. Yeah.
Well, whatever. Rumor has it, not rumor. I mean, he done came out and said it. The guy that made so on the show last minute, somehow she got all 20 something of the pieces. So this guy
they actually looked good. I will say, like the pieces that were on that runway, the show itself was good. Mm-hmm. There were pieces that I was like, okay, we might could do something. Let's do something.
Mm-hmm. And you might have seen some of these pieces before because she was selling a jogger set for $130. And first of all, are Lululemon joggers $130? Is that normal?
That's normal for like a Lululemon, but like.
Okay, all right. Hey,
I'm pretty sure the pants at Lulu's are 100, 110.
All like right. That. My ignorance. Excuse me. I thought that was crazy. So, but someone posted the same jogger set is on Shein.
Yeah.
And Shein, I mean, that was probably like $25 on Shein. And girl, you over here posting your Jeffree Star logo because that's what it looked like. That's who looked like Jeffree Star. On these things. Now we see all this fashion. Now the guy who apparently did these last minute fashions came out and said he was never paid and he paid $2,500 of his own money into this stuff and still hasn't gotten paid. So I'm excited to see this reunion.
Yeah. Well, he said he didn't get paid, and that's why he didn't release the patterns. So that's why the stuff that she had on the website was Shein type stuff. So basically, you can just buy like boutiques that are online that can buy from other places and like put their own logos on it. But it's like just cheap stuff from the Vietnamese sweatshops to like put on your boutique shop. she couldn't use her actual designs because the guy wouldn't release the patterns because she wouldn't pay him.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because I went on that website and I was shook. I
I mean, the fact that you got on the website was a miracle, because the website
actually, wait, I lied. Okay. I went on Instagram and I scrolled. I didn't go to the website. I scrolled. No, I think I go on the website. I don't remember. All I know is I saw everything that was on her site that she's selling.
Yes.
And all I got to say is this. I don't want to ever hear the word $1 million come out of
her mouth
ever.
Yes.
But
clearly nothing on the stuff was stuff that was on the runway.
Courtney, I don't even give a fuck if it wasn't on the runway, because you posted some graphic t-shirts on these models and you didn't iron none of them. Like, no one was like, we should iron this before we take a picture and post it on a website 14 years later. I mean, Courtney, go look at those pictures. I mean, when I tell you wrinkled, like, I'm not a big ironer. I'm not an ironer. I'm not a big ironer
either. But I'm not going to put a fashion online.
I'm not an ironer. But if my shirt looked like that, I'm ironing it. For me to notice that, just, I want you guys to understand who I am. For me to notice that, I mean, like, but do you, girl? Go ahead.
I would really like to know how Sheree makes her money, because this She by Sheree thing could have she could have been like, what's the name? Super Scent, that like released the makeup and made $1 million in one night at one time. Like, She by Sheree literally would have made $1 million if her ish was together. And maybe it did. Maybe everybody bought the Shein stuff for $100. I don't know.
Well, no, but she had to pull that.
Oh, there you go. So I just can't understand. She's had 14 years. And we talked about this before. Girl could have had a dope t-shirt design and like one sweatsuit that was like unisex, and people would have bought it just for the pop culture history of it all. And I'm just like, I just don't understand. And then if she had actually done, like, paid the guy and did her legit line and had some cool stuff on, she would have sold so much. That would have just been easy cash money, because people been waiting for it. And she, like, how? Why?
Because,
like,
again,
making money somewhere else.
Like I
and
said,
she don't care.
Like I said last week with Lil Kim, sometimes life is hard, and sometimes certain things that we think someone's focus should be cannot be their focus. And so when we put that pressure on them, you know, I feel like the world put pressure on her that she had to do this chateau, that she had to have all this money to build this. She has to put this thing out, because it's like, you keeping up with the car, she keeping up with everyone else. She's not cut out for it, because this is so basic. This is on such a level, like the conversations they're having, like the fact that I would have had more faith in Kenya doing this. Like, Kenya's in CVS, like, and the fact that you have,
for her, congratulations.
And the fact that you got friends like her, Candy, I mean, even Drew got an app. Like, just ask your friends, like, hey, how do I do that? Hey, Candy, you know how to make dildos and put your logo on it. How do I do that with a t-shirt?
I just don't understand. I don't. I'm like, Sheree, like, girl, I will do the work and take half, like, and you would still make so much.
And that's what's crazy. Maybe that's what the whole thing is. Maybe she has worked with lots of people like that, and those people aren't coming through, and so it takes so long because she's trusting these people certain people are gonna do it, and they're just not. Maybe she's working with scam. I don't know. But then at the same time, I'm like, look at both of her ex-men. So, like, and again, I think her son is fine, but like, why is he on? Okay, and he should be on the website, but why? You aren't selling pants. Why do we have to see his whole body? And why doesn't he have shoes on? Why is he walking around here barefoot? Like with a wrinkly shirt? Like none of it makes sense beyond that. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle. This episode.
Oh God, Erica Jane, Erica Jane, Erica Jane,
Erica Jane, but all of them. Like honestly, this was just not the best light for any of them. Kathy's just funny to me at this point. But all right, so Kyle, it has really irked Kyle for the past 2 to maybe 3 episodes that Garcelle and Sutton unfollowed Erica. Like it really bothers Kyle. Like it's really under her skin, and I'm just interested to know why. Like, why are you so invested in them unfollowing her? Why would they not? Why would they not?
Being fake drama.
I don't know. Like, I kind of felt like she really. You feel like what?
I think she feels away because remember when last season wasn't Garcelle's first season, right? It's the season before.
Right.
Whatever it was, the first season with Garcelle and Kyle did not blend at all. And I think Kyle is one of those people that really doesn't like it when somebody doesn't like her.
Yes.
And it really gets under her skin. And I think that Garcelle, she still feels that energy from Garcelle because Garcelle is never going to really like her for real. Like, she'll be all right, but she ain't going to like her for real because she don't trust her, especially with the whole situation they got going on now. And I feel like that's the space that Kyle was in dealing with Erica because she feels like that's her team. And she's like, well, why would they do that? That's so mean girl. That's so high school. And it's like, actually, no, girl, what you've been doing is mean girl in high school.
Yes. Exactly.
They grow up. They like, we ain't cool. We ain't friends. I don't need to follow you. So I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, another scene that kind of got me, like, it was with Erica. They all went, like, on the ski mobile thing, and Erica and Sutton were, like, trying to, well, no, they were just talking about Sutton and Diana, and then it led to Sutton and Erica having this moment, which I feel like we've all known it underlyingly, but, like, there was a moment where they both admitted, like, I do like you, but, like, bitch, we gotta figure out whatever it is. In that moment, I said to myself, like, I wish right here Garcelle warmed up a little bit because...
Hell no. Why would she?
Well, no, but then I realized really why she didn't. She really didn't even acknowledge it because she knows what she said about Erica a few days prior, and then she mentioned that when they got back to the house that she wasn't going to tell Erica that because they had like a kind of a good moment and she didn't want to like expose that. Why would she? I feel like if you truly care about Sutton and you know what Sutton crying, like it's just like in that moment, allow that to flourish. And then when you leave, it's like, girl, look, like how Sheree said, like when she was like, don't make it about like, oh, she's not our friend coming on this. Like, don't even, it's a non-factor.
I think that would be the case if Garcelle and Erica didn't have their own issues.
Right. Okay.
Because it'd be different if it was just like Sutton fighting with Erica and like Garcelle was like, girl, don't even like, oh, this is great. You're having a good moment. Let's stick with that and flow with that. But Garcelle and Erica have had their own ish. And Erica already tried to come hard for Garcelle at the Afro party, the 70s party or whatever,
right,
after Garcelle had attempted to actually be a friend to her and be like, girl, you doing too much. Like, and Erica was receptive to her being a friend to her and then turned it around at the next party and was like, no, you didn't actually care about me. You were trying to make me look bad. So Garcelle don't trust that bitch and she shouldn't. So if Sutton wants to figure it out, they can figure it out. But I don't need Garcelle to co-sign on that at all because Garcelle knows that Erica is shady and is two-faced and is not trustworthy. Fuck it. No, absolutely not.
So how did you feel about the dinner, which led into the Erica, like, breakdown? I mean, she was like, I don't feel bad. I'm the victim.
I mean, I feel like do you think, okay, so for a minute, I'm like, okay, this woman is not a dumb woman.
No.
She has to know that that's not cool. And And maybe she's doing it for the drama of the show.
Okay, I could be that, right? But here's my other theory. Here's my like human nature, empathy, like Jesse gives people too many chances in his life theory. Um, we know she's on pills. We know she's drinking, right? She's like she literally calls herself a pretty mess, right? So this is who we're working. This is who we're dealing with. I want to believe that Erica is too smart. Like if she really knew Tom was doing all this stuff, like I would believe that she would play it like she did feel bad for the victims. I like genuinely like I this is what I really, and a lot of people may disagree with this, but I really have come to the fact that I just had this conversation today where I actually do believe that in her mind, in Erica Jane's mind, she is the victim.
Oh, for sure.
And she can't think about these people because she was with a man for how long? Now, again, just play with this world that I'm about to paint. She's been in this relationship with this man for how long? And she divorces him and all this shit comes out. You've been doing this, and now people are coming after me and saying I did this stuff and I have to give my fucking earrings back. Like I worked hard for this. I sat in this relationship. I did this. Da 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 da. Now, again, I also do have sympathy at the fact that maybe she didn't. Let's just say maybe she didn't know, right? And now her whole life is shifting, right? Like this. I mean, this would be traumatic. I know someone who was in a 14, 15-year relationship and didn't know half of the other person's life for 14 years. It happens. Again, I was in a situation where, I mean, when it was revealed, it was just like, dang, like, again, I've talked to you about friendships who I thought the person was this, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it can happen. You know, you look at like movie shows like Dear John, things like that. It can happen. She was younger than him, whatever.
Yes.
Now, of course, like I'm sure she's a smart girl. She got an inkling of something, whatever the case is. But I'm just talking about because I'm really trying to understand this. No wire hangers personality that we get from her sometimes. And I really think it has to come down to the mixture of she is a narcissist. The world is, she can't think about anyone else because she's thinking about her. She's worrying about herself. So she can't. And then I get into the fact of like, I don't know legally. I don't know nothing about no legal stuff. Like if she gives those earrings back because there was no criminal whatever, does that then involve her furthermore into the case? Like, I don't know any of that stuff. Do I think it's weird that she has this obsession? Do I think it's weird that she continuously talks about how much money she has? Yes, I do think that's weird. I also think we're watching an edited version of what we're seeing, which doesn't make it any less weirder. It is weird that you're talking about your purse or you're bringing up these earrings that you don't want anyone to talk about, but then you're talking about them. Like, so at the same time, it's just like, I believe if she genuinely was the villain, like if she was in on it, like we wouldn't be seeing this kind of stuff from her. It's messy. And I just think it's who she is. And if you can understand that portion of her, which I think 3 of the girls know that about her, and they're okay with that, and they just want her, like Kyle really got mad at Erica tonight because she was like, girl, you can't say that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just, it's messy. It's interesting. It's exhausting actually at this point. Like I want to just get to the reunion because I want the receipts. I want to see all the receipts, but I don't know. I mean,
first of all, I also say that I'm upset that we still haven't gotten the Kathy incident yet. Like I was waiting. That's number one. But number 2, as far as Erica goes, just one last comment. Like I don't even think at this point anybody cares to what extent she was actually involved with Tom in terms of the other girls that are kind of like not Team Erica. I think they can give her the benefit of the doubt, and all of them are that like she probably didn't know to what extent what was happening. I just think it's super uncomfortable to watch her be so, oh, there are no victims. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. This
Do
is
you
not
know? Can
do
you
you
prove
know?
it?
And you
Have you proven the facts?
it's just weird. Like it was very uncomfortable to watch. So I really hope that that was all performative, just for ratings or something, because I can't, as a actual human being in the world, I cannot deal with that being like a legitimate like frame of reference to behave. Like I just can't. It was too much. It was just too much.
Well,
It's like, girl,
I'm
clearly
questioning.
people didn't get no monies, and something's up with your husband's monies because that's why he's bankrupt and all of this stuff is happening. And as a compassionate human being, you are clearly working what is considered a pretty good job. You are not destitute. And the fact that you can't see past that, which whatever, you lived a very lavish life, that's fine. But you're also not someone who came from a very lavish life.
Right.
So it's not like you don't know anything else. And I think that's what gets under my skin. It's
The
like,
empathy
you know
portion of
something
it.
else. And this didn't happen for you until you were like 25, almost, I think 30 almost, when she got with Tom. So it's just like, girl, like the drama of like you acting like it's the end of the world because you're only making almost $1 million a year for Bravo. Like, it's bullshit. Stop it. Give them people them earrings or whatever purse they want. Be sad about your stuff. Ask Diana to keep buying you stuff, because every time they pass something, she says, Diana, can you buy that for us?
Also, can we talk about how Diana really tried to have like neon moments for the Aspen trip, and it just all, to me, it all felt forced. But when Kyle did the neon in her one-on-one, I was like, that's how you do it. Thank you.
Yeah, or how bad her extensions were. Whatever. I don't even want to talk about Diana because I can't deal with her tongue. So, but yeah, we're we're rooting on the point. But in the end, good luck, Erica Jane. You are a hot freaking mess, and I hope it's for play just to play up your part on the TV show. Because if this is you for real in real life, you are a pretty nasty human being.
Girl, what was you thinking? What? Look who she was married to.
I mean, I guess, but
you got to be a certain type of, I don't know, because that wasn't love. Okay, the other thing we're getting next week, it kind of bubbled a little bit this week. So the Kathy incident is supposed to happen next week. But I think that they've built this up, and we're not even going to see what it is, and it's not going to even be talked about until the reunion. Exhausting. All right. So Kathy has this tequila, which we've seen her promote on the show before. She promotes it tonight on the show, or last night on the show, and everyone was not into it. It was just like, and Lisa, though, was being rude. Like, Lisa was, like, vocally, like, nah. Like, now, also, she was high. And also, can I just say, like, Kyle must have been high for her to react the way she reacted. Because that's, like, when I'm high, there are 3 things that cannot happen. Yelling, ambulance, and police. Like, none of those things. If I'm smoking, do not bring none of that energy towards me. Like, all that will kill my vibe. Like, smoking, someone doing something crazy. It's like, please don't. Like, I do not want to call the ambulance right now. Like, that is not what my mind is trying to do. So, I thought that was hilarious. That conversation, the way Erica, and that could have also been it too. If Erica was high, like, because there were moments where she's like, have you discovered? Do you know?
But she does that all the time. Previous season,
no, I know.
Anytime she gets angry, it's the weirdest shit. It's like, who are you? It's like she brings out what's the villain on Aladdin? What's his name? Jafar. It's like she just turns into Jafar.
Do you know? No, low-key the mom from Cinderella. Like, Cinderella? No wire hangers!
It's too much. No. I can't.
So Kathy, so whatever, Lisa's being rude. I don't know if it was the weed or whatever, or her just being rude. And Kathy got a little irritated with it. So then that leads into the preview to next week where they're at a bar and Kathy mentions, oh, they have my tequila there. And Lisa says, "Oh, can I try the 818? It's my friend Kendall Jenner's tequila." And it looks like Kathy gets upset that Lisa did it, because obviously Lisa did that in spite of Kathy.
Yeah,
and Kathy was mad that Kyle didn't do anything about it, and it looks like Kathy storms out.
Yes.
Now, that interview I sent you was of Kathy a few months back when Britney got married, where she talked about the incident, and she says in that interview that her leaving Aspen was her fault. She takes the fault when it comes to Kyle, but she didn't want to stay in the house, and I think she didn't want to stay in the house because she's Team Garcelle and Sutton, not Lisa and Erica. And I think that's where she was bothered by the whole thing. But we'll see next week what happens.
We'll see. Finally, we've been in Aspen for how many episodes now, and we're still waiting on the incident. Like, I'm tired.
It feels longer because they skipped a week. We've only been there. This is only the second week we've been in Aspen, which is crazy. But it feels like way longer. Oh. But they're stretching it out for 3. They filming the reunion this week, and we'll see what comes of that.
We'll see. I did like somebody say there was a post about hoping that Paris would make an appearance at the reunion, kind of like Vicky Gunvalson's daughter Brianna would occasionally like pop into the reunions for a little segment to like defend her mom or explain her mom's craziness. And they were like, could Paris come? Because Paris has been liking all of these posts that are shading or talking about how shady Kyle is towards Kathy. And I was just like, wouldn't it be awesome if Paris popped in for a minute and just gave them the business and moved about her way? I would love that.
Fully support that episode. Fully support that, because I was here for Paris liking that little tweet talking about so mean.
Yes, and you scroll through and there's multiple ones that she liked. It wasn't just one.
All right.
Her Paris is picking up for her mom on the social.
Okay. All right. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I mean, it's late. I got to go see if Nicki Minaj dropped this remix. Like, I already got to watch my 60 Days In. I try not to talk about it here because none of y'all seem to watch it. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I think we literally almost hit 2 hours here. Like, we was just talking. 146. That's all right. But let me know, because part of me was thinking maybe we break this up into 2. So that way we can have like maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe, I don't know. But maybe you guys are watching the whole thing, maybe you like an hour and 40 minutes, here we go. But Courtney, where can everyone hit you up and follow you, keep in contact, all that?
Hit me up, follow me everywhere at Stuart Starlet, my old instant messenger name.
Yeah. Boom, you guys can hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J, but please, I don't even care if you follow me there, just follow me everywhere at Next Mood Swing. At Next Mood Swing. Subscribe, like, comment. Please bring the conversation. Leave a conversation. You want us to talk about something next week? Let me know. If you see something interesting, tag us. Share it with us. We here to keep the conversation going. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone who was in the chat. Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.